experience to help you get your money faster. That's 999-9999. Trust meteorologist Mikkel Hannah Harding for your first alert. Live from Augusta, you're watching News 12, first at 4.
First at 4, we are learning more about a Richmond County deputy who shot at a man over the weekend. We're just learning the name of that deputy. She's Diana Santiago. Deputies say it happened when a man led deputies on a chase last night. They responded to a domestic call with shots fired on Damascus Road around 8:30. When they got there, they say 31-year-old Quandre Davis fired a gun in an unknown direction, then took off running when deputies tried to approach him. Investigators say during the chase, Deputy Santiago fired a shot at Davis while he was running. He was arrested, and deputies say they later found the gun. He was not injured. Davis is charged with aggravated assault on a police officer, as well as a weapons charge. Deputy Santiago has worked at the sheriff's office for 3 years. Post records show she has 8 hours of active shooter response training, 3 hours of remedial firearms training, and 1 hour of judgmental shooting. She's on administrative leave, which is protocol after a shooting involving a deputy. To weather now, and we're finally starting to see some relief from those sub-freezing temperatures. Here's First Alert meteorologist Emily Acton to bring us up to speed. No complaints this afternoon, Emily.
Yeah, no complaints here this weekend. It was bitter cold for us, but things have definitely changed to start off our week. And if you're enjoying this weather, stick around. It's going to get even warmer for us. But today, we've reached those upper 50s. Right now, it's 57. Looking at North Augusta, a few clouds out there, but overall, great conditions out there. A little bit on the drier side. But something I want to point out, this is the temperature difference from this time yesterday. So we are 13 degrees warmer than what we were at this time yesterday here in Augusta and Aiken. Same story. If you go down to Swainsboro, they are 16 degrees warmer than what we saw yesterday. So again, a big warm up is in store for us, but of course, we'll cool down for the overnight hours. And again, that's what we're expecting overnight tonight. Not expecting those extremely cold temperatures, though, which is some great news. But Richard, we have rain in the forecast. I'll let you know about that coming up soon.
Sounds good, Emily. Thanks very much. We are learning more about a shooting death of an Augusta man early Saturday morning. Deputies were called to Wellstar MCG Health around 2 in the morning in reference to a shooting victim. 22-year-old Krishawn Martin died from his injuries after a shooting at Club Rain on Gordon Highway. While the sign says Club Rain, the business license is actually under Club Climax. It's classified as an entertainment venue. So far, investigators have not named any suspects in that shooting. Investigators are still working to find out what started a deadly house fire in Edgefield County. This was Saturday afternoon. It happened at the old stage in Rainsford Road. The person who died in the fire has not been identified. Law enforcement believes the victim was the only person living in the house at the time. There's an investigation after a house fire in Edgefield overnight. Dispatchers say that call came in around 12:30 in the morning. When fire crews got there, they say it was fully engulfed. By 3 in the morning, crews finally had that blaze under control. We don't know of any injuries, and there's no word yet on what sparked that fire. Voters go to the polls in New Hampshire tomorrow for the first. The defamation trial of former President Trump postponed today in New York because one of the jurors is sick. Trump's motorcade arriving at the courthouse this morning for day 4 of that trial. Writer E. Jean Carroll and her attorney also arriving early this morning. Assuming no one tests positive for COVID there, court will resume tomorrow morning at 9:30. Trump's defense requested he be allowed to testify Wednesday. He can't do that on Tuesday because of the New Hampshire primary. Judge Kaplan says he'll consider that request. Some romantic news in the world of politics. That's Senator Tim Scott taking a knee, announcing his engagement to his girlfriend-turned-fiancée, Mindy Nose. He made that announcement yesterday on X with the quote, "Mindy, thank you for making me the luckiest man in the world." The 58-year-old first made that relationship public after the Republican presidential debate in Miami before he dropped out of that race. Israel's government facing more.
Overnight tonight, we can expect to see temperatures in the upper 30s, so a lot warmer than what we have been seeing, and that trend's going to continue this week. I'll have a check on your forecast coming up.
That's 800-973-5217.
A serious accident creates a lot of right now problems. You're worried about your injuries, the medical bills, and whether you'll get stuck paying for it all. You shouldn't have to chase after a lawyer to get the help you need. With me, you won't have to. I'm Austin Jackson, your guy in Augusta. If you've been injured, my team will get to work right away. And you don't have to pay us anything unless we get money for you. Injured? Call Austin Jackson, the Augusta guy. 706-724-7224.
We got the house! Moving and storage team.
Well, things are warming up for our work week, thankfully. This weekend we saw temperatures in those 40s. This afternoon, we're sitting in the upper 50s for most of us, and that trend's going to continue throughout our work week. So, good news there. Sky conditions, that's a different story. We'll get to that in just a second. But thankfully, things are going to be calm and dry overnight tonight. We'll cool off as you should expect overnight, but we'll only drop off into those upper 30s. So drastic difference from that 20-degree mark that we saw overnight last night. So not as bitter cold to start off our Tuesday. And like I said, that trend's going to continue over the next couple of days. Checking in on the radar, conditions are dry. Again, that's going to stay true throughout the rest of the day today, but rain chances start to come into play possibly as early as tomorrow. Now, not holding my breath so much on those rain chances tomorrow, but temperatures will continue to rise there throughout the week. Once we get into Wednesday, we could see those upper 60s, maybe some spots could see that 70-degree mark. Definitely by Thursday, though, and Friday, we will be sitting in those 70s. So very warm temperatures are on the way, but with it, some rainfall. This is what I'm talking about tomorrow. A couple of light showers early in the morning, maybe a stray shower later on in the evening. But Wednesday, we could see some more showers as well. Once we get into Thursday and Friday, there's going to be some more widespread rain there. Maybe a couple rumbles of thunder, but overall, not anything severe. So that's some good news. And it's definitely something that we have to keep an eye on this time of year, but thankfully looking to be below severe limits this week, Richard.
We like the warm up, though. That sounds really good. Months have gone by, still no answers for those families of hostage. We have a lot of student athletes playing multiple sports in this area, but doctors say players should be aware of overtraining and injuries. How parents can help tackle that growing issue. Coming up next.
Temperatures have warmed up into those upper 50s. Now, we're going to see some rainfall in our near future along with warmer temperatures. So kind of a good and bad for us, but I'll have a look at your forecast coming up.
Imagine you're stopped in traffic. Roadworks brought the highway to a halt. Imagine looking in the rearview mirror. The 18-wheeler behind you is driving too fast for conditions. But you're lucky to be alive. You imagine how much worse it could have been. Imagine knowing you can call all nines 24/7 and get the help you need. The team at George Sink Injury Lawyers has the experience to help you. We've helped thousands of people get the money they need. Call all nines now.
Well, we have rain chances on the board for the next 6 days for us, actually, but warm up. So that's the good news with that. We're going to see temperatures warm up into those 70s, possibly as early as Wednesday, but definitely by Thursday and Friday, Saturday, still going to be in those 70s. So drastic pattern change for us, but we'll kind of steady back out once we get into the end of the weekend, the beginning of next week there. Overnight lows really ranging, starting tonight, will be in those upper 30s, so a lot warmer than well below freezing, which is what we have been seeing for the past week or so. Overnight, last night we saw 20. Again, we're going to slowly but surely start to warm up. But let's take a look at those temperatures for tomorrow. You can see there's going to be a drastic difference depending on exactly where you are. And I'll have that map showing for you in just a little bit. But it's going to be a lot colder up for our more northern counties than it is for our more southern counties. So we have that kind of wedge of system for us, and that's going to cause a little bit of a temperature difference there, but nonetheless, on average, we're going to be in those upper 50s tomorrow. So pretty much what we saw today, just add a little bit of rainfall there, but some showers and thunderstorms possible by the end of the week.
Yeah, mid-70s. We're watching that carefully. Thanks a lot, Emily. More than 60 million children and teenagers take part in organized sports. About 70% get out of the game by age 13 because of either injury or burnout or both. As Naomi Rucker reports, a new report looks at a growing epidemic of sports-related injuries.
17-year-old TJ Doyle loves playing baseball and football. throwing those touchdown passes and running the ball. This brings me joy.
But playing sports almost every day has led to some injuries.
Hamstrings, his wrists, his shoulders from throwing, different nagging injuries that just kind of lingered because of the brutal schedule.
Eventually, TJ gave one sport up, lacrosse.
I wanted to keep playing, but I also knew that something needed to change so I could stay healthy.
A new American Academy of Pediatrics report looks at overuse injuries, overtraining, and burnout in young athletes.
Pain is your body's indication of telling you to take it easy, to slow down, to allow these micro injuries to heal. Rest is best, listen to your body, and stretch, stretch, stretch.
Dr. James Barcy with Stony Brook Children's Hospital says kids who overtrain can develop overuse injuries because growing bones can be more vulnerable to stress injuries.
During growth spurts, we know that bones grow a little bit faster than muscles and tendons, and you're predisposed to getting tightness in joints. And that tightness also predisposes kids to getting stress injuries.
For TJ's minor injuries, Dr. Barcy prescribed rest or bracing and daily stretching and physical therapy exercises.
This past year in football and baseball, he had zero issues with his hamstrings.
TJ encourages athletes to always be honest with their parents and coaches.
Don't try to play through it if it hurts. Stretch it out, eat ice, figure out what the issue is so you can get back to play.
He has his sights set on college football. Naomi Ruckham, CBS News.
Doctors also say taking part in one sport year-round can also be detrimental, so parents and coaches should encourage kids to get involved in different sports in different seasons for more cross-training. A spokesman for Britain, Sarah Ferguson, says that...
Well, we're out with the cold, but in with the rain. I'll have a check on your rainy 7-day coming up.
And you know, we haven't seen any snow in these parts, but this horse in Nashville, Tennessee is loving it. We're going to take you there after the break.
First Alert Rate Hire, powered by Jim Hudson Automotive Group.
It's a new year, and many homeowners start thinking about home improvement projects this time of year. Your roof is one of the most important investments for the security of your home, and thankfully, the professionals at Roof Savers specialize in roof rejuvenation, which will extend the life of your asphalt shingle roof by 5 to 15 years. I'm here with Russell Beckham, one of the owners of Roof Savers, and Russell, explain what roof rejuvenation is and the Roof Savers process.
So, roof rejuvenation is the process of reintroducing the protective qualities to asphalt shingles, such as the flexibility, the granular adhesion, and also adding resistance to hail damage. Our first visit to a customer's home is to evaluate the roof. We are looking for any leak-prone areas such as damaged pipe boots, loose chimney flashing, things like that, and we want to correct all that before the process is started. Then we will soft wash your roof to make sure all the black algae and moss and dirt come off. Then the roof is treated with the rejuvenation to extend the life of the roof.
The roof is a major expense. This product can save you a ton of money. As you can see the before and afters, and it is plain as day. This was simple, in and out process. It's a win-win for everybody.
Please dial the number on your screen right now and extend the life of your roof by 5 to 15 years and save thousands of dollars in the process.
Hear what other people are saying about Roof Savers? Use the keywords Roof Savers Georgia on Google and check us out online at myroofsavers.com.
Attention railroad.
Well, this looks like fun. A police patrol horse spotted just enjoying the snow in Nashville yesterday during the wintry conditions there. Video posted to Facebook by the Nashville Horse Mounted Patrol shows one of their horses just rolling around and making the most of it. You know, today's warming trend is going to make this all a memory soon enough, but Emily, over the weekend, that horse was getting the most out of it. And I said we hadn't seen any snow around here as we watched that horse play. I did see you guys over the weekend doing a story about the guy in Martinez with the snow machine.
Yes,
And
very cool.
And it stuck around day after day after day because of that cold weather we had last week.
Yeah, it was cold. I didn't see any horses out there rolling in the snow, but that's adorable. I love to see that.
Absolutely having a great time right there.
Yeah, I know a lot of people definitely enjoyed that snow over in Martinez, and we definitely had cold temperatures to go along with it, but the good news is we're warming up. This afternoon we saw highs in those upper 50s. That's a drastic difference from what we saw those lower 40s just yesterday, but we're going to cool off overnight as expected. We're going to see lows in those upper 30s for us, so tomorrow things are looking pretty good to start off the day. We'll be in, again, those upper 30s, low 40s to start off the day, and then we'll warm up into those upper 50s, maybe even see 60 tomorrow afternoon. But with that, we're going to see some off and on light showers throughout the afternoon hours, and that rain, that trend's going to continue for the rest of our work week, unfortunately. So off and on showers likely for the rest of our work week, Richard. So definitely need to hang up that winter jacket and put on a rain jacket.
Oh, it's transitional time here as the roller coaster ride continues. We're back with more in a moment.
You're watching News 12, First at 4, continues.
We begin with this look at our live camera at Thurman Dam as temperatures are finally heading in the right direction. Let's send things over to First Alert meteorologist Emily Acton. And so, Emily, it's warming up. We may even see some rain, but that's not until much later this week. Let's talk about this warm-up.
Yeah, I'm definitely here for the warmer weather, and honestly, this is my type of weather. Warmer as in upper 50s. That sounds great out there. A little bit of cloud cover though, but still plenty of sunlight out there for us for the next hour or so, maybe even a little bit over an hour. So some good news there if you have any evening plans. Outdoor conditions looking great. Those dew points in the 20s though, so a little bit dry out there, but nonetheless, a drastic change from what we saw yesterday. We're seeing a 13-degree temperature difference. So we are 13 degrees warmer here in Augusta this afternoon than what we saw yesterday, which was in those lower to middle 40s. So a nice warm-up in store for us. Now, granted, we're going to cool off overnight. As expected, going to see some cloud cover along with that. We'll see lows in those upper 30s. But tomorrow, we'll warm back up into those upper 50s. Might even see 60. But, Richard, before the week's done, we're going to see high temperatures in those middle 70s. I don't know if you can believe it.
Hard to believe right there. Emily, thanks a lot. Some sad news to pass along. The youngest son of Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. has died. Dexter Scott King died in his sleep at his home in Malibu, California yesterday following a battle with prostate cancer. He was 62. His wife said of his battle with the disease, he faced every hurdle with bravery and might. His brother, Martin Luther King Jr., the third, issued a statement saying, "The sudden shock is devastating." Dexter King was a graduate of Morehouse, his father's alma mater. He worked as chairman of the King Center and president of the King Estate. Today marks the 51st. Richmond County deputies still searching for a couple of missing teenagers in separate cases. They say 13-year-old Rydeek Bailey was last seen Saturday morning on Hills Road near the Crystal on Bobby Jones Expressway. Investigators say he typically is in the Apple Valley area. The other missing teen, Stormy Newman, 13 years old, last seen in the area of Walton Way and 7th Streets. Investigators say she was wearing a green top and black hoodie and pink Nike shoes. Anyone with information should call the Richmond County Sheriff's Office, and again, these are two separate cases. The Homeless Task Force's yearly point-in-time count kicking off today in Augusta. Right now, Garden City Rescue Mission, the Salvation Army, and Augusta Rescue Mission are getting a count of those who are staying there. Later tonight, volunteers and officials will be hitting the streets, looking for areas where the homeless set up camp. And across 6 more days in the next couple of weeks, the task force and volunteers are doing a number of programs to provide care in the homeless community. All new at 6 o'clock, Craig Allison breaks down what the task force is gathering from this count. Today, the Wrecking Crew got its largest donation ever, $75,000, going toward the nonprofit's mission to give individuals with disabilities some opportunities to make the most out of life. The Wrecking Crew provides recreational activities like arts and music and bowling, sports, and more to ages 6 up to 88 years old. The Wrecking Crew says they'll be better to enhance the overall growth of people with disabilities. Your options to fly in and out of Augusta getting a lot better during Masters Week. There's double the capacity on board Delta Airlines during this year's tournament. Delta is adding Austin, Texas, Boston, JFK in New York. They're adding flights to Orlando and Palm Beach in Florida, and then Reagan National in D.C. That tournament just a couple of months away, running April the 7th through Sunday, April the 14th. And that's just Delta. We're still waiting to see what U.S. Airways has in mind for Augusta and Masters Week. Well, it's an organization known for helping the homeless and those in need, and now Compass for Hope is asking for your help to continue that mission.
Temperatures overnight will fall into those upper 30s, but we'll have another warm day in store for us and some more warmer weather along with that and some rainfall. So lots going on in the 7 days. Stay tuned for more details. Well, we saw high temperatures today in those upper 50s, so a much warmer day.
Chicken biscuit or any size iced coffee. Each is just $2.
Well, we saw high temperatures today in those upper 50s, so a much warmer day for us. Overnight, we'll drop off into those upper 30s for us, so a big cool down, but not as cold as what we saw overnight last night, which was right around 20 degrees, but some cloud cover is going to stick around for the next couple of days, and then along with some rainfall with it. So unfortunately, a big pattern change. Some people may like it, some people might not, but again, we are dry right now, and that's going to stay true for the rest of our evening for us. So good news there. Warmer temperatures are on the way. Again, today we saw highs in those upper 50s. Tomorrow, going to see those upper 50s again. Once we get into Wednesday, though, we could possibly see 70 degrees, but we're going to go ahead and keep it safe in those upper 60s for us. Then once we get into Thursday, we will definitely see 70 degrees across the CSRA. Friday, going to be in the 70s, and Saturday. But the only bad news is we're going to see some rainfall associated with that, and this is kind of what it looks like, what we're expecting. Again, light rainfall possible tomorrow. Really not putting a lot of money into that, but once we get into Wednesday, that's when we're going to see some more widespread, possibly heavy rainfall, and definitely by Thursday, that's when we're going to see the heaviest of rainfall expected, really Thursday and Friday for this week. So lots of rain. When it's all said and done, we'll see anywhere from maybe 2 inches. Some spots locally could see 3, but flooding is not a major concern considering it's spread out over the course of roughly 5 days, Richard.
Well, the temperatures are rising this week, but we know down deep it is still wintertime, and that's why Compassion for Hope is holding a hat, glove, and hand warmer drive. The organization already provides free showers and washers and dryers, along with some basic necessities for those in need. Compass for Hope's Mike Garrison says this is just another way to help serve people.
We're asking for hand warmers and gloves and beanie hats. Those are things that seasonally we try to ramp up what we do. And so in the summertime we offer other items, but in the wintertime we try to meet the needs that are out here.
And it'll be cold again before we know it. Compass for Hope sets up every Sunday morning at 10:30 in the James Brown Arena parking lot. You can drop off items there or head to the Compass for Hope Facebook page, and they'll help you out there as well. Advanced voting now underway in the special election for the wanting to take that winter trip. Before you decide on a rental property, though, watch out. Don't get scammed, or you need to know if, to keep you from becoming a victim. Coming up here, first at 4.
Well, a big warm-up is in store for us this week. Right next to me, this is the low temperatures, excuse me. You would think that they are the highs. We're going to see lows in those 60s, but I'll have a check on your 7-day coming up. Well, we're on a warming trend this week, but along with that, going to see those rain chances come back into play. Tomorrow, we'll see high temperatures in those upper 50s, similar to what we saw today, and then we'll see those 60s, upper 60s, I should say, come Wednesday. Some spots might even see that 70-degree mark. Definitely by Thursday, though, Friday, Saturday, we are having that warming trend for us. Overnight lows following that same trend. Overnight tonight will be in those upper 30s, but once we get later on into the week, we'll see 60s for the low temperatures. So that's about a 15-degree difference from yesterday's high. So a drastic pattern change for us. So again, going to see those higher temperatures and rainfall chances, unfortunately, along with it. But this is the high temperature map for tomorrow, kind of showing you a difference there for our more southern counties over in Sylvania, Millen. They're going to be in those middle 40s, but if you go up a little bit more north, they'll be in the lower 50s. So a drastic difference in temperatures there, but overall we're saying right around 58 for that average high temperature tomorrow, but it's only going up from there, Richard.
We are going to ride that trend. Emily, thanks. You know, for some, a new year means a new rental home, but people should keep their eyes open to scammers who are trying to rip them off with fakes. A woman thought she found a good deal on Facebook Marketplace, but that was short-lived. After she figured out this was all a scam, she says she already paid the contact more than $2,000 before she figured things out.
Once we paid the rent, we got the phone call. It was a scam. 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 It
He never sent the lease, never met us at the house to give us the keys.
The Better Business Bureau advises doing an image search to see if the listing pops up somewhere else under some different address. They say a red flag to watch out for is when the contact avoids meeting in person and then requests gift cards or peer-to-peer apps for their payment. They say listings with a very low rental price is also another sign, another red flag about a scam. Financial experts say January is the perfect time to set up a giving budget. That's a way for you to donate to your favorite charities throughout the year instead of all at once at the end of the year. Consumer investigator Rachel Pompa spoke to a financial coach about how to plan your charitable giving.
If you feel it in your heart to help local organizations throughout the year, start planning your charitable contributions now. Many organizations accept goods or donations. They will also accept your money. And remember, charitable donations are tax deductible, so be sure to save your receipts after you donate for when you file your taxes next year. Jerry Dale with the Virginia Credit Union says the more you can plan out your charitable giving, the more impact it will make.
Oftentimes we do it impulsively, or we see a commercial, or we see something that really strikes us, and that's okay to give. But if you start at the beginning of the year or mid-year and map out how much you can actually give each month, target a charity that is really important to you, and then that monthly giving can really add up for that charity.
She says a good rule of thumb is about 10% of your net income. But if that's too much, even $20 a month can make a big impact for a local charity.
Well, you can do research online, of course, on different types of charitable organizations. There's a Charity Navigator website that you can go to. But one of the things that I like to do is actually volunteer for the charity itself. Go to the food bank. Go volunteer, work with children, see where the money is going.
Dale also says, always do your research before you open your wallet. Learn all about the organization. It will better connect you to the organization, and it's going to help you feel better about your monthly donation and even inspire you to give more each month. One more tip, she says, check in with your employer. They might have a program where they match what you give, or maybe they give a gift to a charity in your name on your birthday or work anniversary. With this Watch in Your Wallet, I'm Rachel DePompa.
Also today, people looking for a new job this year may have some competition. A new LinkedIn survey reveals 85% of workers say they're considering changing jobs. That is a 27% increase from last year. But the job market is highly competitive. The study finds just one job opening for every 2 applicants. Nashville, Miami, Fort Lauderdale, Seattle, some of the best job opportunities out there right now, according to that survey. Macy's says it's rejected an unsolicited takeover bid worth nearly $6 billion. Last month, Ark House Management and Brigade Capital Management submitting a bid to buy shares of Macy's they don't already own for $21 a share. Macy's rejecting that offer, saying it failed to provide compelling value to shareholders. The rejection comes days after the retail chain announced it was cutting its workforce by about 3.5%. Tough times for Macy's.
Well, cloud cover is going to stick around for the overnight hours. Temperatures will drop off into those upper 30s overnight, but the warming trend will continue for our 7-day. I'll have a look at that coming up. If you've been hurt in a car wreck, what are you waiting for?
Call George Sink Injury Lawyers at all 9s now.
The sooner you call, the sooner they can help.
George Sink Injury Lawyers has the experience to help you get your money faster. If you've been hurt in a car wreck, call all 9s.
It is the world's largest open-air ice rink. It reopened for the first time in a couple of years. Check it out, about 4.5 miles long. The Wrdw Canal Skateway, this is in Ontario, had to shut down in 2022. It just wasn't enough ice, wasn't cold enough for a couple of winters. The canal needs at least a foot of ice to open. That usually requires 10 to 14 days of -4-degree weather. Higher temperatures in November and December had some worried that the rink might have to stay closed again this year. But imagine the Augusta Canal frozen like that, and they're just going the whole length. It's really an amazing thing. So they call it the largest outdoor skating rink.
That's pretty cool. I like that it's all natural like that, too. Glad we don't have that here, because then that would mean it would have to be very, very cold for us here. And we already have dealt with the cold this past weekend. Now, not anything compared to -4, but cold temperatures. Thankfully, though, we're warming up. This afternoon, we saw highs in those upper 50s, and we're slowly but surely cooling off for the overnight hours, so don't get too upset about it. We'll warm back up tomorrow, expecting us to see highs in those 50s again. But a cold start, so definitely going to still need to have that jacket handy, maybe even a rain jacket. We're expecting some isolated showers early tomorrow morning, but the next best chance of that rainfall is really going to come Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday for us. So again, looking ahead at those rainfall chances, just going to continue to climb throughout the work week and possibly even stick around into our weekend, unfortunately there. But you can kind of take it, hey, we're getting a little bit warmer weather for it, but the rain's going to be associated with it. Overnight lows, pretty crazy. Once we get into the middle and end of the week, we'll be in the 60s for the early overnight lows, early morning lows, I should say, for us. So warmer weather, some rainfall. It's January, Richard.
It'll be nice to thaw out for a minute. That's going to wrap things up. First and 4, Live at 5 is up right after the break.
I'm here for you. I'm Nora O'Donnell with the CBS 18 News. By the time I was